like you're fat and ugly. It's like, okay, I know that I'm fat, but are you sure that I'm ugly? Because I don't think that I'm ugly. Hi, welcome to Angela's Anything Show. Hello! Today, I'm gonna talk to you all about bathing suit season. Oh yeah, that's right, ladies. It's June, so you're probably seeing everywhere like, get those bodies ready for summer. Or just in your mind, you're thinking, oh God, I gotta get my body ready for summer. This is like a very, not hot button issue, but it's something that is near and dear to my heart in a way that you guys might not know. And I just feel very compelled to make this video because I know that a lot of women who are slightly younger than me, like 18 to 25 or whatever, watch this channel, and maybe me as a 32-year-old can help you out in a little bit of a way, give you some wisdom, impart my 32-year-old knowledge onto you, because I'm so wise. I was gonna say, like, sorry that I don't have makeup on, that my hair is wet and not brushed, and that I'm wearing the same thing I was wearing in my last video. But this is real life, baby, and you guys like my authenticity, right? So I'm trying to keep it real, because if I don't just record this video, I'll never do it, because I'll chicken out. Because I tried to record it last year, and then, well, I did record it last year, and I was like, oh, it's too personal, I never put it up. So, bathing suit season. For many years, like my entire life, up until like last year, it's something that I've always dreaded, because I love swimming and being in the water, but I hate the way my body looks in a bathing suit. You might be thinking, but Angela, you're a supermodel. You're amazing. Your body is spectacular. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. You know how some people are born fat? Like, some people are just born thin, like a lot of kids are skinny, and then like, as you turn into an adult and everyone becomes lazy fucks, like we gain weight and our metabolism slows. So I'm that bitch that like was born fat. Like, I've always been chubby. Like, from the time I was like 4 till I started working out, like I have a naturally slow metabolism. Basically, I was just always like an overweight kid. Now, I was never like, my upper brow is sweating right now. I'm like so nervous about this. I don't know why. So basically, I was never like morbidly obese, but I mean, at my heaviest, I was probably at least like 50 pounds overweight. Now, 50 pounds on a middle schooler who is like an 8th grader who is 5'4" and 3/4", it's a lot. Like, you're not morbidly obese, but like it could easily go that way. Like, it's, you know. And anyway, also, we all know that it doesn't even matter, because in middle school and elementary school, the kids will find any reason to make fun of you. But basically, setting the scene, I was always overweight. I got picked on a lot. I got made fun of. They would be like, you're fat and ugly. It's like, okay, I know that I'm fat, but are you sure that I'm ugly? Because I don't think that I'm ugly. Also, I grew up in a small ass town, and I went to a very small schools, and if any of you are watching this, I know a few people from North Adams might watch this, but if any of you are watching, feel free to leave a comment below being like, yeah, like our school sucked, like the kids sucked, right? Like everyone was mean and not that bright. A few of us were cool, but a lot of people were just not that bright. So I don't know, like I just was made fun of all the time. Like, it was my weight, like it was like the biggest issue in my life. Like, that's something that is one of the main tenets that defines my personality today, in good and bad ways. I'm super defensive sometimes and super cutting with my words, because I'm so used to, I was irate. I was like training myself from a young age to be able to defend myself, you know, like verbally. The positive thing from that is that since the age of like 16, I've been working out regularly and have never stopped. Like, through college, through New York, through working from home, through going into work, like I've always worked out. Fitness has been a part of my life since I was like 15, 16 years old, because that is when I decided it's so much more work to be overweight and be fucking sweaty all the time and have nothing fit and like not be able to find any clothing or any bathing suits or any dresses. Instead, I'll just lose the weight. I'll just eat healthier and work out, which is the secret to losing weight. Not fad diets. Just eat healthier and work out. Okay, so anyway, even though it was a small part of what my overall life will be, you know that the stuff that happens to you as a child is very scarring. Like it stays with you forever and really defines who you are. I also forgot to mention that I have a twin sister who you've seen on this channel, and growing up, she was always like super teeny tiny, like a little peanut. Now her body's just like sick. Like her body's still way better than mine, but it was just really hard because when you're little, especially when you're twins, even though we weren't identical, people would always, literally, people would say, that's your twin, you're so much bigger than her. Okay, so cut to, I'm an adult, you know, I work out, but I'll never have a flat stomach. Like it's like all the fat falls from here and there's nothing on my legs. My arms are not fat, but it all just gathers into this like middle area, what me and my friend refer to as the melt belt, because he says he has one too. And that's the thing, when you're born fat, it's really hard to ever be skinny, like fully. Like I'll never have a flat stomach because the skin is just slightly stretched out. Like my body just, its natural state, it wants to have fat there. So it's just annoying because no matter how hard I work, like I'm never gonna be that bitch in a bikini, you know? So that leads me to today. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much. That leads me to today. I wrote myself notes for this and I wrote, born fat, LOL. Open up a can of repressed memories. Okay, so anyway, basically, even though for most of my adult life, like none of my current friends like know that I was overweight growing up. Like most people I meet now have no idea that is like, in my mind, that's who I am, you know? And anybody that was overweight and is now thin, you understand. In your mind, that's you. So in my mind, even though all my friends, none of them know this about me, in my mind, for years, I'm like, oh, well, it's like you wear certain things, you know, you always try to cover up certain parts of your body. So in my mind, I'm like, ooh, I can't wear that type of shirt because then people will see my fupa and they'll all know that I'm not actually like skinny and attractive, and they're all gonna know that I'm actually this fat and ugly girl from the 7th grade. It sounds really sad, but it's just true. Like that's the games we play. And then of course, alternately, at the same time, I know, Angela, that's not true. It's not what people think, but fuck off. That's not, you're lying. Basically, like everyone else, despite the fact that I work out and am in shape, I don't like the way I look like in a bikini. I've never worn a bikini. So every summer, I'm just like, I just wanna find, and I have no tits either. I'm completely flat chested. So it's really hard to find a bathing suit that looks good. And I've really struggled with it every summer because I love being in the water. And I also just get so discouraged because I'm like, I'm working out and I still don't look good in a bathing suit. Like, and every year I try to like, stress myself out, like you gotta like get skinnier so you can fit into a bathing suit and look good this year. And you know, I guess the point of this video is to say like, well, first of all, I just want to say to everybody that just because somebody might appear thin, if they're working out and work on their body, like they're allowed to complain about their body because they're working at their body. Like if you're not working out and you're like, I'm fat, it's like, well, even if I weigh less than you, I'm allowed to complain that I feel fat because like I'm putting in way more work on my body anyway. So like I can say whatever I want. And also I would get really annoyed at people when they'd go, you're not fat, like you were never fat. And people do that and I know it's trying to be nice. And because you're like, you weren't fat, that's like, no, I was fat. I was fat. Clothing did not fit. I work extremely hard to maintain my fitness and I will do that for the rest of my life. So by telling me, oh, you weren't fat, it was just, it was in your mind, you're exaggerating. It's like you're completely devaluing and like brushing aside like a main piece of who I am and like what I do. You're not giving me credit for all the work that I put in. So I was fat, you better believe it, bitches. But anyway, point being, last year something happened. Last year, I was like, I just want a regular one-piece fucking bathing suit that's comfortable, that my little boobies can be in without my nipples flying out, that doesn't have my stomach hanging out, that's just normal. And I finally found it, you guys. I found it at Amazon. I found 2 amazing bathing suits. Similar style, but one is a one-piece and then the other is like a tankini. And by the way, I was on the fence about tankinis because I was like, but all my fat is like where the tankini would end. But the tankini bottom actually goes up higher and the tank top goes lower. So I would definitely recommend tankinis to any of you ladies out there. Because the one piece, you have to get naked fully if you have to like pee. Just kidding, we pee in the water, but in case you have to like poop or something. So I found these two great bathing suits at Amazon last year, and I gotta tell you, they fit great, they have great reviews, I will leave the link below, and last year was like the first year I was like, you know what? I look good in these bathing suits and I don't give a fuck. Now, why did that happen? Well, there's a couple reasons. One, because they were just like simple, nice bathing suits that wasn't me trying to be all sexy and cute, it was just a regular bathing suit. It wasn't like matronly or anything, but it was just regular. Two, over the years, I have focused less on being skinny and more on building muscle, because that's what's gonna help you out in health and looks-wise long-term anyway, especially as a woman, because if we don't build muscles, our bones are all gonna break, and that's why we get osteoporosis. So I've been focusing on building muscles. When I put the bathing suit on, yeah, I see the areas I don't like, but I also go, whoa, look how muscular your thighs look, and look how like defined your shoulders look. So instead of focusing on like the little fatty areas, I go, you look good. And I mean, people aren't paying attention to me. People aren't paying attention to you, okay? But hopefully if somebody is looking at me, they're like, wow, she looks good. She's like doing weight training. She's like putting the work in. Building muscles really like empowered me to love my body, because I'm like, I'm strong. Like I can lift things. I'm fit. I'm taking care of myself. And also the more muscle you build, the more cardio burn you have just in general. So it does help keep fat off. And finally, and this is something that if you're younger, you know, you're gonna start experiencing. All of those women and friends that I have and people that I'm like, oh, they have the perfect body. They're so skinny in a bathing suit. Like they look so good. They're probably looking at me thinking, ew, I thought Angela was like skinny and hot. And like, look you can tell that she used to be fat, which is what I think people are thinking. Instead, a lot of those women have had children. And their bodies are a little different, and they're not as tight in certain places, and people's stomachs aren't perfectly flat. So I was like, oh fuck yeah. It wasn't like they look bad now, but those perfect bodies that a lot of like women, you feel like everyone has like this perfect bathing suit body but me, people's bodies change. So, you know, even though mine looks like I had kids and I didn't, it's like, but now everybody's had kids, so it's fine. No, but for real, I'm not saying that people look bad after they have kids, but people's bodies change and things aren't exactly the same. And that's when you realize, like, as you get older, it's not that, oh, like, who cares, let it all go. It's just like you're more forgiving with yourself, and people start to realize that looks don't matter so much. So you got a little fat hanging out on your thigh in your bathing suit. It's like, whatever. The last thing I want to leave with is this meme that I saw that inspired me to make this video. Keep this in mind when you are nervous about going to the beach or doing whatever this year. Think of this meme and think of me. And if you're really worried about it, then I would just start doing some push-ups. That's all I got. Thank you for watching this episode of Angel's Anything Show. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. When they go, Angela, how old are yours? I'm like, 12 months and 24 months.